So, what happens when a big picture philosophy slams headfirst into a brutal reality check? Well, today we're going to break down a system that had to do exactly that. It was forced to evolve from just aspirational ideas into a concrete, day by day battle plan for getting things done. This is the story of how the DATWORK system went from a diary to a war. Yeah, that quote right there, it pretty much tells you everything you need to know about the vibe. This isn't some gentle self-help guide. The goal here is to get you addicted to execution. It's a raw, no-nonsense philosophy, and now we're going to pop the hood and see how the engine really works.
Okay, so before we can even get into the planners and the tools and all that stuff, we have to start with the core of it all, the DAT work mentality. Because look, you can have the best tools in the world, but without the right mindset behind them, they're just empty pages. And you really got to pay attention to this definition. It shows you this isn't just that generic hustle culture stuff you see everywhere. It's a really structured approach that brings together three key things: your personal mindset, your daily consistency, and the community you're a part of. When you strip it all away, it all comes down to one powerful idea. It's your response to what life throws at you that truly defines who you are. This whole mentality is really built on three simple but super powerful pillars. Number one, maximum effort every single time. No half-stepping, no phoning it in. Number two, empty the tank. Every single day, you leave it all on the field, nothing left behind. And number three, and this one is absolutely crucial, it's about the community. You lift other people up as you climb. That's how individual wins turn into a shared victory. So, how did they first try to put this whole mentality into practice? Well, it was all baked into this tool they called the 12 Laws Blueprint. This was the original game plan, the philosophical guide for the entire year. And this first planner was really methodical. Here's how it worked. Each month, you'd zero in on one big idea, like the law of creation. Then you'd set a few goals that lined up with that law, break them down into daily actions, and at the end of the month, you'd reflect on it all. The whole system was designed to connect your daily grind with these huge, powerful concepts. But here's where things get interesting. Check out the kind of accountability this created. The prompts were all about looking inward, asking you how you applied a law. It's a fine question, but it's soft. It's a soft prompt. And it was that exact softness that ended up triggering the radical upgrade we're about to get into. And this right here, this is the core conflict of the whole story. It's the massive gap between having a great philosophy on paper and having a system that can actually build an empire in the real world. This is where the tough questions started coming from inside the house. So they put the entire system under a microscope and they looked at it through three different, and I mean unforgiving, lenses. You had the business architect who's all about structure, the street strategist who lives and breathes the daily grind, and the CEO, who has to keep an eye on the big picture, the long-term vision. First step, the business architect. Their take was blunt. Philosophy is great, but it doesn't get you a business loan. The planner was missing the hard, tactical metrics. There was no checklist for building business credit. Tracking your DUNS number, which is kind of like a social security number for your company, or setting up net 30 vendor accounts to build your company's financial rep. The actual nuts and bolts of building a business just wasn't there. Then the street strategist steps in. The law of humility is about learning from your mistakes, sure, but just writing down lessons felt way too passive. Where was the failure analysis to really break down why you took an L? Where was the daily tracker for your network outreach? Because let's be real, your network literally is your net worth. And finally, the CEO's perspective. The law of focus tells you to pick your lane, but the planner's layout basically lets you create a wish list of 5 different goals. And when you do that, your energy gets scattered all over the place. A real CEO needs a tool that forces ruthless focus on the one thing that's going to move the needle each quarter. Okay, so with all that criticism on the table, the mission became crystal clear. It was time for a serious upgrade. It was time to transform the system from a passive diary into an active, tactical war room. And this one sentence, man, it says it all. The goal wasn't just to tweak the planner or make it a little better. It was about changing its entire identity. From a quiet place where you write down your thoughts to a command center where you plan your attack. And boom, here's the result. Just look at this thing. It's not fluffy, it's dense, it's specific, and it is all about action.
In the morning, you're not just thinking, you are locking in on one main focus and one money move. And the evening, it's not about how you feel, it's a debrief. Where did I slip and how am I adjusting tomorrow? There is zero ambiguity, no wiggle room. What they did was literally bolt these hard metrics right onto that old philosophical framework. They added this receipts section, because you got to have proof of the work, right? Now you're tracking your business credit scores every week. You're actively managing vendor accounts to build those trade lines. You're even logging the new skills you learn that directly make you more money. It's all about tangible proof, the receipts. And you can feel the entire culture shift just by looking at the change in language. Those vague, feeling-based questions, gone. They were totally replaced with real talk. It's no longer how do you feel, it's a direct challenge. Are you making excuses or are you making adjustments? A question like that forces you to take total ownership. It leaves no room for you to lie to yourself. All right, so let's tie this all together. What you're looking at now, this upgraded system, it's not just a planner anymore. Not even close. It's a piece of your daily infrastructure. It's where the big ideas finally meet the daily grind, head on. And it all comes together in this simple but incredibly powerful 3-part daily protocol. You've got your morning protocol to lock in on your one thing, a midday check to challenge any hesitation, to ask yourself, are you waiting for permission? And an evening audit to take stock of your actual impact. It locks you into this relentless cycle of focus, action, and adjustment, day in, day out. And really, this is the bottom line. This one idea perfectly captures the entire soul of the upgraded system. Because when it's all said and done, your big philosophy, your feelings, they don't matter. Your excuses are completely irrelevant. The only thing the game responds to is your effort, period. So that leaves us with one final question. We've seen the whole transformation, right? From a diary of ideas to a straight-up war room for action. The whole thing is built on one truth. The game only responds to effort. So the only question left for you is, what's your next move?